Hello. Today is Sunday, June 30th, 2019. Hope you're well. Um, Today we're going to talk about service to the whole. And maybe a year ago or so, we did a couple of posts on service to self and service to the whole. And so we're going to talk about that again, but we're really going to really peel it back even more when we're talking about service to the whole. Excuse me, and get my thought. We're talking about service to the whole, and so as we live, as we move in this place and we grow from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, we're building on the things that we've already learned, and we're expanding out. So the things we talked about a couple of years ago, whenever it was, those were lessons that I was learning myself at the time, and wanted to share because I feel like many of us, well, we're all learning lessons, but many of us are learning similar lessons at the same time. So hopefully when I post these, they're at least informative, helpful, or encouraging to someone out there. But now fast forward to right now, some new some newer understanding is presenting itself as far as service to the whole. And it's like, okay, yeah, what you learned back then, that's all well and good, but we're here now today, and so here we go. That was all fine and well at that time, but just like a baby can't just keep on nursing on its mother for the rest of its life. That would be kind of weird. We take in what we need at the time, and as we grow, we build on that. So, okay, I've beaten that thought to death. So here we go. So the thought that came was that service is, you think of other words that have to do with serving, servant, and just when you think about a servant, we'll take it literal for a moment just to kind of clarify. When you think about someone who is in service to someone else or something else, that's their thing. It's not about, okay, serve this whatever on my terms. And that's the point, is that at least for myself, it's at this point where it's not about my own comfort anymore. When we get to this place where it's just like, okay, yeah, you're the servant. You don't get to call the shots in the service. The service is the service. And just to kind of recap on what we spoke of in the other post, having to do with service to the whole, service to the world, service to all of creation, service to love, all of that, I lost my thoughts. So many ideas just kind of rush in at the same time. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's about delivering love. It's about being in service to love. So really, when you talk about service to the whole, it's not that we're serving other people or serving other ideas. we're really making ourselves available so that love can move through us in order to uplift, in order to bring light, and or whatever it is, in order to assist, in order to, like we said, assist all creation in its evolution, if you want to say, or just in being healthy, maintaining health. And that's our mission. And it's not a mission of, well, this is just really, this is not a good time for me. I'll serve the whole some other time. So for those of us who feel like this message, as all messages that we post here, are for people who are on this page right now. This isn't across the board, every single person. So whenever I make a statement like, so now we need to blah, 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 I'm really speaking about where I am in my journey and those of you who these messages resonate with. If you feel like this is where you are, if it's not, then you certainly don't want to start imitating some behavior, because that's not going to be authentic. You don't want to force something that's not coming naturally for you. But so when I say we're at this place, I'm speaking of those who this message resonates with. So we're at a place now where it's not about our own comfort anymore or convenience. It's about, okay, you're in service. This is your thing. Now roll up your sleeves, and these days of getting your toes stepped on or your feelings hurt or your pride wounded, that's yesterday. Bye-bye, that's gone. Here now today, we are in it. We're in it to win it, right? Just, it's not like, okay, love, I'll make myself available for you when it works for me. And when it doesn't, then just no. So, and it's good for us, because it's just like for those of you who actually do go out and do real exercise, I don't do the gym thing. It's just not my thing. But I do know that when you're working on a certain part of your body, trying to build it up, trying to build that muscle, no pain, no gain, all right? It's painful. The process is not easy, but we're looking at the results, not literally. We don't know literally what the results are going to be, but we know that when we're in service to love, the results are they're going to. And whether or not, we might be off the scene at that point, we might move away to in some distant land, but the seeds have been planted when we allow ourselves to have love move through us in our dealings with other people. And we can rest assured that when we allow this, whether or not we know outcomes or this or that or the other, we feel good, because we just have this reassurance within that, yes, it's gonna do the thing. You feel it. We feel it. So, but it's difficult, because like we started a thought that we didn't finish here of, you're building up your muscle in the gym, and what happens is there's like this tearing that happens underneath. The muscle is tearing itself and rebuilding and tearing and rebuilding, and but all the while, that's what's supposed to happen. It doesn't necessarily feel good, and it doesn't feel good sometimes when we are in service to the whole, whatever that might mean, and it just feels like it's being met with hostility or resentment or any kind of resistance, it doesn't feel good when we know what we're in service to, and there's no glory. So if anybody's got this idea about glory and getting your pat on the back and the thumbs up, we've talked about that in other recordings. We get that from spirit. We don't expect it in the physical. We don't expect any, and we shouldn't. It's not that kind of thing. It's not about the ego. And our ego in this place now, where we've gotten to at this moment, this ego is getting trampled on big time. Like, big time. And it's just like, okay, well, we get knocked down. And so what? Because we're not getting knocked down. It doesn't feel good when we feel this resistance. And it's not about feelings hurt. It's about the energy of love it's very light and peaceful. And when there's resistance, that's not the feeling of love. And that's what we feel coming back. And that's completely different from somebody's pride getting damaged and how dare you, blah, blah, blah. And it's night and day. But that's what we signed up for. At this juncture, that's where it's at. And hey, you know what? It's grow a pair. Got to. Because our eye is not on all the blah, blah, blah of this place, all of that stuff. And which is actually good for us. Because the ego has been so disproportionate to our growth. It's been so overbearing within us. It's been so in the forefront, that the least bit slighted that we feel, it's just like, no, that needs to go. That has no place in this, what we're doing here now. So it is good for us actually to go through that and come out of it and say, my spirit, my soul, the mission, whatever you want to call it, it wasn't damaged at all. It was just that part of me that takes things personally. And at this point, we want to say we are not talking about the mission. Blah, 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 sorry. What we're doing here is not religion. It's not doctrine. It's not indoctrination. It's not about good and bad and trying to get others to believe something or even to do something, to agree with something. We're not trying. It's not that at all. In fact, it doesn't have a face. Love motivates us in the moment. We feel it and we allow it. It's not about setting anybody straight or judging completely. No. It's not that. It's about really, it's about compassion. Understanding that so much of the world is entangled in just a lot of crap that's weighing on them. People are suffering. People are trying to be happy. People are wanting to have peace in their lives, get along with their families, and for the most part. And it's a struggle. People are struggling. They've been made promises to that have been broken. They've been betrayed. They've been beaten. They've been lied to. They've been used. They don't know who to trust. They don't know where to go a lot of times. The institutions that have been set up that were supposed to, all right, quote, supposed to alleviate the suffering, has only just intensified it or added to it. And so we have to come from a place of compassion. And when people lash out or resist love, it's because they don't, how do I know that you're just not another scammer? How do I know that you're authentic when there's so much deception everywhere? Right? And we don't take things personally because, as within, so without. When people, when they manifest something that seems like anger or resistance, or that's the stuff going on inside of them. And we can only make things worse by taking things personally and trying to defend ourselves and trying to blah, blah, blah. You step back. And then if we do that, we know that love is not the force at work in us anymore. When we want to stand up and say, wait just a cotton picking minute, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's the ego. So it's good for us. Okay, because we talk about, we want a change in the world. Well, guess what? Be the change. It starts here. And looking outside for everybody else to change the world, and then we're just gonna slide right into the new. Don't work that way. So for those of us who feel this way, like who are resonating with these words, that's where we're at right now. And when it's friends and family, and we feel hurt over something, you can go and have some privacy later on, get your cry out, pray, or whatever it is that you do, some easy meditation, or just relax, clear your head, take a walk, have a drink of water, watch something that's funny, or whatever it is that's going to help you to just kind of let that fall off. And then just stand right back up and say, hey, this is bigger than me. This is not about me, whoever that is, whatever that means anymore. We're trying to create something beautiful here, and or we're not we, but we're trying to assist. So that's that. We weren't very specific here with situations, and that's, if it's something that you're experiencing, you'll get it. Because sometimes when we're really specific about scenarios, it cuts off a lot of what people might be going through. It's like, oh yeah, no, that's not me. So we keep it pretty open and general. But, just basically, if you feel like, I really am trying to be a loving person. That's not even the right way to say it. I'm really just trying to put my own ego in the back seat and allow love to work through me. Sometimes that feeling, just you moving around in this place with that, is going to give off a certain energy. And sometimes people don't like that. Some people don't want that. Sometimes people are used to the misery that they're in. And you coming along, not that you're skipping and, joking around and being goofy, but, you radiate a peaceful something. Sometimes that's irritating to people. And so, and not even the words you say, just your being. Just the way that you kind of move easily, for people who are finding it difficult to move easily, that might be a bit irritating, and they might snap at you, stuff like that. It doesn't have to be it's certainly not about arguing who's right, who's wrong, this, that kind of, that's played out stuff from yesterday. But anyway, so this is 20 minutes, so we're going to wrap it up now. But that we just wanted to speak on that a little bit more about service to the whole. WHOLE, not HOLE. That makes sense, right? And hopefully, this has been encouraging for someone. And as always, we want to wish you much love. Bye.